My life was a shipwreck until Stoicism threw me a lifeline. Here are 100 laws that can do the same for you. But first, let me take you back to where it all began. Like many of you, I found myself overwhelmed by the chaos of life, making decisions that led me further away from who I wanted to be. It was only when I stumbled upon the ancient philosophy of Stoicism that things began to change. Stoicism, with its powerful laws on virtue, resilience, and clarity, offered me a blueprint to rebuild my life from the ground up. In this video, I'm going to share the 100 Stoicism laws that guided me out of the storm. Whether you're facing personal turmoil, seeking peace, or just curious about Stoic philosophy, these laws have the power to transform your life as they did mine. Let's dive into the wisdom of the ancients and explore these life-changing principles together. Pay attention to you. People leave and come back. Your mind will be controlled by someone else if you don't. Things that break your heart can also help you see clearly. When you start to feel better, you have to deal with being alone. You're proud that you made it through the days you thought you couldn't. Life is like that. Some people will not like you. Most people don't care what you say, and some want you to fail in secret. Don't let anyone use you, but be nice. People would rather hate you for who you are than love you for something you're not. Don't ruin your life by trying to make broken people like you. Stay away from people who make you feel alone. A bad company is preferable to none at all. You should make peace with your past so that it doesn't wreck your present. Don't look at other people's lives and judge them. You don't know where they're going. Don't ever forget how powerful stupid people can be. You have to figure out how to live your life. No one else will. You learn and win sometimes. Do it by yourself if no one else can help. Pay close attention to your money. Money is a shield against many threats. Don't give other people your time. They don't earn it. It doesn't matter what other people think of you. To change the end, you have to start from where you are now. Being by ourselves gives us a chance to get in touch with ourselves again. You need to stop looking for the positive aspects of people and start focusing on what they show you. Don't act like you're better than you are. Take your time with life. It's not worth the time to hate someone. That bad thing that happened to you might have been the best thing that ever did to you. Having envy is pointless. You have everything you need. You won't get what you ask for if you don't ask. Treat other people the way you want them to treat you. You don't need to remember anything if you tell the truth. It's not fair, but life is still good. Nobody will ever get anywhere in life if they lack the courage to take chances. Don't depend on words, depend on deeds. Get rich, it will help you. Without money, life would be hard. You can get through anything if you can get through your own thoughts. They don't deserve you if they don't value you. To escape being let down, learn to heal without telling everyone what's bothering you. Don't count on anyone to help you. You get what you need at the right time. Wait it out and trust the process. Giving up is not a mark. It's a blow. You should never, ever talk about other people. It's bad for your mind. Attachment is at the heart of all pain. Imagination makes us suffer more than reality does. Remember that life goes on even when people change. Love hurts, friends leave, and things go wrong. Learn to say no without having to give a reason. Be a good person, but don't act like it. Don't tell your friends what you're going to do. Do not put too much trust in them. When you're done, don't tell anyone what you did. Be honest if you want people to trust you. The only person who cares about your dreams and goals is you. You are the only person who can make them true. Don't remember what hurts you, but remember what it taught you. Strength comes from mastering others, But true power comes from mastering yourself. There are limits to how nice people can be. Your direction is more important than how fast you're going. Thoughts will take over if you don't control them. Privacy is power, so don't share too much. Don't base long-term decisions on short-term feelings. You must be able to face the worst if you want to succeed. No problem will last as long as you are alive. If you always think you're right, you will never learn anything. Wait it out. The best things happen when you least expect them. Never feel bad about a day of your life. Every day has its own lessons and memories. Good days bring happiness, bad days bring experience, and the best days bring lessons. You only get one life, so make the most of it. Don't worry about whether other people will like you or not. Just be yourself. Don't follow what other people say. Most of them have no idea what they're talking about. It hurts at first, but then it makes you stronger. Accept that you have to walk some routes just to reach your own personal goals. More important than the family you come from is the family you make. Live your life. Get love while you can. Getting angry is bad, so put it away. Deal with the fact that envy is bad. Don't be afraid to remember the good times. What do you think Hercules would have been like if he didn't have to fight and clean up lions, hydras, stags, boars, and some mean and evil men? Like how wood is the material for a carpenter and metal is the material for an artist, everyone's life is the art of living. We frequently suffer more in our imagination than in reality and have more fear than pain. Take the easy way out and don't do it. Don't say something that isn't true. Be the master of your urges. Man doesn't really care about real problems. He cares more about his made-up worries about real problems. There is only one path to happiness, which is to stop thinking about things we can't change or control. Nobody can have everything they want, but they can choose not to desire what they lack and to make the most of what they do have. It only takes a small change in your way of thinking to create a happy life. Being happy means not having to think about anything. Happiness comes from doing good deeds, not from expecting things to go your way. You should fear the unlived, not death. Enjoying the moment without being anxious about the future is the path to true happiness. If you don't know where you're going, there is never a good wind. Not what occurs, but how you react to it is what is important. Problems are what test the strength of men and women. Develop the desire to have what you already have, and you will get it. Always be thankful for what life gives you. The ability to control your mind and your acts is what gives you real power. All else is indifferent. Virtue is the only true good. You can find true inner peace by living in line with nature. Problems give us a chance to learn and get better. Happiness doesn't depend on what's going on around you. It depends on how you feel inside. To be successful, you need to be patient and keep going. Virtue endures forever while life is transient. Knowing what you can control and what you can't is part of being wise. When you accept what you can't change, you are truly free. The only thing that worrying about the past and the future does is take your mind off of the present. Living in line with your logical nature is the key to happiness. A chance to show your strength and put your character to the test. Adversity. Being humble and modest is what makes you truly great. You won't find true happiness from looking for praise from other people. Being virtue means not only doing the right thing, but also being honest and consistent about it. Living in harmony with oneself and the rest of the world is the key to happiness. Wisdom and virtue, not having a lot of stuff, are what make people truly wealthy. Your inner strength and resilience can be put on display in the face of adversity. Freedom from unchecked desire and emotion is where true freedom is found. The ability to face problems with ease and drive shows that someone is truly great. Finding happiness comes from living a life with meaning and purpose. Experience and introspection on one's deeds and decisions help one become wise. The ability to rise above your ego and work for the greater good is what makes someone truly great. True freedom comes from not having to worry about or meet other people's standards. Living in harmony with nature and following its natural order is where happiness can be found. When you accept things as they are instead of fighting them, you can find true inner peace. No matter what else is going on, virtue is its own prize. The ability to handle difficulties with ease and respect is how true greatness shows itself. Living a life with meaning and purpose, as opposed to seeking out simple joys, is where happiness is found. Reflecting on yourself and always trying to learn and understand more are ways to become wise. Your mood toward events is the only thing you can control. Soul tranquility is the key to happiness. Lacking little is a sign of real wealth. Virtue doesn't look for benefits. People who talk about you behind your back are there for a reason, so don't worry about them. Men are bad because they care about things they're not ready to fight for. The only thing that can't be lost is virtue. The wise man wants peace inside, not money outside. Being truly free means not having to please other people. We don't waste too much time, we just don't use it well enough. Philosophy helps you get ready for death. What makes you happy is not what you have, but how you feel. Realizing how small you are is the key to being great. Good luck goes to the brave. Be indifferent to things that are out of your control. The ability to deal with problems, not their lack, is what makes people happy. Fear, not pain. Do not believe that suffering will teach you anything. Real wisdom comes from knowing you don't know something. That you don't give up is the only thing that is wrong with pain. Do not ask things to go the way you want them to. Instead, wish them to go the way they do. Give others what they need, not what you desire. Being good brings its own prize. You decide how to live your life. The freedom of the mind is the real wealth. We make life short, not life itself. Accepting what you have and giving up wanting what you don't have is the key to true happiness. Let's enjoy the present moment as much as possible. Don't judge, just try to understand. It's in being humble. Wisdom is being able to tell the difference between things you can change and things you can't, and being able to accept that. Being good is its own reward. Don't look for praise from other people. Instead, seek the pleasure that comes from living by your values. Trouble is where the soul learns how to deal with things. Every obstacle presents a chance to advance and gain strength. The inner peace that results from living in harmony with virtue is what makes people happy, not the chase of external joys. To be free, you need to be able to control yourself. To gain true inner freedom, control your desires and emotions. Being thankful makes what we have enough. Every day, be thankful for the good things that happen to you. Being patient can help you deal with stress. Trust the process and let things happen when they're supposed to. People trust each other when they are honest. Be sure that what you say and do is in line with your core ideals. To have understanding, you need to understand. Before you judge someone, try to understand their experiences and points of view. Being humble helps us see that we are all people. Do not think of yourself as better or worse than other people. See yourself as equal. Fear of not trying is worse than loss. Man takes over the world by taking over himself. The best wealth is peace of mind. Nothing bad can last for 100 years, and no one can handle it. Do not try to be perfect. Try to keep getting better. Let's be honest, we don't know anything. That's true wisdom. Take care of the things you can control instead of worrying about the things you can't. Being more is what makes you happy, not getting more. Being truly free means not having to depend on anyone or anything. Being happy is a choice, not a fact of life. Don't wait for other people to approve of you. Approve of yourself first. Care more about what you think of yourself than what other people think of you. Real happiness comes from liking what you have, not having what you love. Keep your attention on the present moment and not on what might happen. Gratitude is the key to real wealth. To be happy, you don't have to reach your goal. You just have to enjoy the trip. Don't compare yourself to other people. Instead, fight with yourself. Real wisdom means being okay with things you can't change. Don't think about what you've lost. Be thankful for what you do have. Being true to yourself is what makes you great. Being without needs is what true wealth is. Why should we care so much about what most people think? We can do some things and can't do others. Nothing, in my opinion, is a better test of a well-ordered mind than a man's ability to stop where he is and spend some time in his own company. Not having to think about what other people say gives you peace of mind. You can't get everything you want, but you can choose not to want what you don't have and make the most of what you do have. When the sun rises in the morning, I will remember that I will come across someone who is late, rude, greedy, dishonest, a liar, jealous, or self-centered. All of these bad traits happened because they didn't know what was right and wrong. But I've seen that good is beautiful and evil is mean, and that someone who makes a mistake is still mine because he shares the potential of reason and is a divine part of the whole in the natural order. Also, nothing he does can affect me because no one can stain me with his baseness. Then I couldn't be mad at or hate my neighbor either, because our feet, hands, eyelids, and 2 sets of teeth, the lower and upper, are all designed to work together. Being enemies with each other goes against nature. Aren't anger and rejection forms of meanness? People who are scared of dying won't do things that are good for the living. Now is the time to understand that you have something stronger and more magical than the things that don't make you dance like a doll. The person who wants more is poor, not the person who has too little. There are 4 types of appearances in the mind. Things are what they seem to be. Things are not what they seem to be but are not. Things are what they seem to be but are not. And things are not what they seem to be but are not. So it makes sense that the wise man's job is to aim in all of these events. He who has control over himself is the most powerful. Things that matter in life are not how long they last, but how well they are acted. A smart person's wealth is their slave, but a fool's wealth is their master. Take care not to hurt future joys as you enjoy the ones you have now. You will never be poor if you live in harmony with nature. You will never be rich if you live according to what other people think. Learn new things about how to live every day. People are very careful to keep their personal belongings safe, but they waste a lot of time. One time it's okay to be cheap is when the sun shines on bad people. Fate leads the willing and pulls down the unwilling. A sword is only used by killers to do their job. Leisure time without books is like burying a living person. The end of one beginning leads to the start of another. A man's age is often the only proof that he has lived a long time. Life is where we learn, not school. A gift is not what is done or given, but what the person giving it wants to do. Remember that everyone you meet is going through a tough time. It's like each heart is singing an unfinished song until another heart whispers back. People who want to sing can always find one. Everyone turns into an artist when they feel the touch of a lover. Fools talk just because they have something to say, but wise men talk because they have something to say. It's easy to forgive a child who is scared of the dark. It's much worse when men are scared of the light. The war is over, but only the dead have seen it. If good men don't care about public matters, bad men will rule over them. Do not teach a child to learn by hitting or forcing them. Instead, tell their minds that you can find out more about their unique genius. Being ruled by someone less powerful than you is the worst punishment for refusing to rule. Greek legend says that people were born with 4 arms, 4 legs, and a head with 2 faces. Out of fear for their power, Zeus split them in half and made them spend their lives looking for their other halves. I know nothing, which makes me the smartest man alive. Never underestimate a person's courage, no matter how slowly they move. Being in love is a very bad mental disease. Using politics to avoid being ruled by your inferiors is one of the consequences. Laws don't make good people behave badly, but bad people will find a way to get around them. What a man does with his power shows what kind of person he is. All bad comes from ignorance. We need to teach women the same things as men if we want them to do the same work. Don't give me facts when I'm trying to think. There is truth in kids and wine. The people who tell the stories run the world. 3 key things drive people to act the way they do: desire, feeling, and knowledge. The best thing about heaven is the foolishness of love. The right things to desire are taught to our kids through education. Men can be divided into 3 groups: those who value wisdom, those who value honor, and those who value money. To be brave, you need to know what not to fear. You are a small spirit carrying a dead body. Men are scared of how they see things, not the things themselves. To philosophize means to look at your standards and make them better. Try to ignore the litigants and remember only the cause when you have to give a sentence. Accept being thought of as dumb and stupid if you want to get better. And how can you act like you love someone when you don't know what's right and wrong? Learn what you say before you speak it. No matter what other people do or think, join what is truly better. No matter what is going on around you, stay focused on your true goals. Because guys have 2 ears and 1 tongue, we can hear other people twice as much as we say. Being prudent is the best thing that can happen. When you work hard to get something done, the effect might not last long, but the good will. If you do something bad to feel good, the good feelings will go away quickly, but the shame will stay. There are no facts in what we hear or see. Everything we see is just a point of view. Recognize that you have control over your mind and not over outside circumstances, and you will gain strength. There is a chance to be kind everywhere there is a person. We frequently suffer more in our imagination than in reality, and have more fear than pain. We don't waste too much time, we just don't use it well enough. Pay attention to the details of this moment and react to this person, this task, this action. Don't try to get out of doing or saying something if it's wrong or not true. As the sun doesn't wait for spells and prayers to rise, it just shines, and everyone is happy to see it. So don't wait to clap, shout, and praise before you do your job. If you don't do good things on your own, people will love you like the sun. Truth always wins on its own, but lies always need help. An anxious mind is unhappy about what will happen in the future. To get things done, you need to be determined. Set clear goals for yourself and work hard to reach them. Share your resources and skills with people who need them the most. Generosity is the bridge that connects hearts. Hope is the light that shines in the dark. Even when things are hard, keep the flame of hope alive. The ability to find strength in adversity and keep going even when you feel like giving up is what is meant by being resilient. Learn from every experience and every person you meet along the way. Wisdom is everywhere if you have an open mind to see it. Harmony is when your body, mind, and spirit are all in balance. Live a life that is healthy and takes care of all of your parts. Being creative lets you show who you really are. Use your imagination to make your wildest dreams come true. When you face problems, don't give up. Instead, keep going with courage. Perseverance is the key to success. The only way to become wise is to study and have experiences. See every struggle as a chance to learn and grow. Being true to yourself and living with ethics are the building blocks of a worthwhile life. Develop a strong mind and brave heart. Inner strength is the gear that shields you from life's challenges. Choose not to be hurt, and you will not be hurt. Choose not to be wronged, and you will not be wronged. The first rule is to stay cool. The second is to face things as they are. Loss is just change, and nature loves change. You can't polish a rock without pressure, and you can't make a person better without trials. Understanding and being understood is one of the most beautiful things about true friends. It's important to remember that the amount of care you give to something should match its importance. There are many things we don't do because we're afraid of how hard they are. But those things are hard because we don't do them. Pay attention to what you want to change. Things are only half done when they are well started. Since death is good and nothing else is, death is not bad. A bad feeling is a disturbance in the mind that goes against logic and nature. People with and without education are like living things and dead things. Situations don't make a man, they only show who he is. Trust only those who can see the sadness, love, and reason behind your silence. Because he has always tried to depend heavily on himself and get all of his happiness from himself, the wise man is neither lifted up by success nor dragged down by adversity. If they don't notice when you're not there, then your presence never mattered. Don't work for praise, work for a reason. Be yourself and don't try to please other people. Happiness and desire are incompatible. I laugh at people who think they can hurt me because they don't know me or what I think. They can't even touch the things I live with, and that are mine. If something occupies your mind, it rules your life. It won't change you if it doesn't push you. Say no when you're right and yes when you're wrong. Don't you know that a good man always does the right thing, not just to look good? Focus on the job at hand and do each one as if it were your last. Don't get sidetracked by drama, pride, or whining about your life. Having things that you don't need, even if they only cost a little, is expensive. Bad things that happen outside shouldn't bring you down. Take some time to learn something useful and stop spinning like a top. Most of the things we do and say are not necessary. Always ask yourself, is this necessary? When someone helps someone else, they also help themselves. Do not hurt yourself by accidentally taking on bad and useless attitudes through your interactions with other people. There shouldn't be only one anchor on a ship, and there shouldn't be only one hope in life. If a person is not their own master, they are not truly free. If someone says bad things about you, if it's true, you should fix them. If it's not true, you should laugh at them. Mind, wealth, and happiness only come from not taking other people's things as your own. You already have everything you need to live a happy life in your thinking. Today, though, I got away from my worry. I didn't pay attention to it because it was inside my thoughts and not outside. Don't do or say something that isn't right or true. Not being like your enemy is the best way to get back at them. You have to accept the things and people that fate has tied you to. However, trust yourself in the moment and do it with all your heart. Every morning when you wake up, think about how lucky you are to be alive and able to breathe, think, enjoy, and love. There has been a plan for everything that happens to you since the beginning of time. The mind has the power to make you happy. You can do wrong by doing nothing. Don't argue about what a good man should be like any longer. Living your life as if it were your last is what you should fear, not death. People should fear never starting to live. Don't be anxious. Nature has everything under control. The second step is to focus on what you need to do. Don't forget that your job is to be a good person. Do not hesitate to tell the truth as you see it, but do it with kindness, respect, and without any hypocrisy. Remember what nature expects of people. Do not whine out loud, not even to yourself. Do not be concerned. Everything happens in accordance with the nature of the world, and you will soon be nowhere and nobody. True good luck comes from doing good things for yourself, like having good character, good goals, and good acts. Keep your mind off of what you don't have and on what you do not have. You can make an objective decision right now, right now. Do something selfless right now, right now. Accepting all outside events voluntarily right now, at this very moment. That's all you need. You don't need much material stuff to be happy, because someone who understands life gets wealth or success without being proud and is ready to let it go. Please stop putting so much value on the outside world and stop being a tool for things or the people who can give or take away those things. When a man does something good, he doesn't call other people to come see it. Instead, he moves on to something else, like an avid grape grower who keeps picking grapes when the time is right. Is there any man who doesn't like change? What could happen if things don't change? So, what is nicer or more in line with nature as a whole? You can take a hot bath as long as the firewood doesn't change, and you can eat as long as the food doesn't change. You can also do anything else useful without change. Don't you see that change is just as important for you as it is for nature as a whole? Take without being proud, and let go without being attached. Don't change your names once you've taken them on. Good, humble, honest, logical, name of calm, and magnanimous. If you lose them, quickly get them back. There's something about guys that makes me wonder why they love themselves more than any other man, but care less about what other people think of them. Be happy with who you are and don't want to change. Don't fear or long for your death. Virtue is the only true wealth. Don't judge your success by how much stuff you have. Instead, look at how good your character is and how you act. Tests of our true strength and resilience come when we face problems. Don't stress over things you can't change. Instead, concentrate on the things you can. Saying thank you often is the key to ongoing happiness. A virtue called patience helps us handle life's problems calmly and without losing our cool. True sages are modest. They seek the tranquility of their own mind rather than the approval of others. When we are humble, we learn to see our flaws and draw lessons from other people's situations. Sticking with something is the key to success. In spite of the problems and hurdles you face along the way, never give up. Being wise means knowing when to do something and when to wait. Take your time making decisions, but don't let fear stop you either. Think about how soon you will be nothing and nowhere, and neither will any of the things you see nor the people who live now. This is because everything is made by nature to change and become something else, and then die, so that other things can exist in a continuous cycle. In short, Everything is fine if there is a God. If luck rules, don't let it rule you too. So I expect the worst and am ready for the best. Whatever happens is holy, normal, not strange or hard to handle, but familiar and simple. Stopping to worry about things we can't change is the only way to be happy. Our wants must be tempered before we can live a successful life. We must also realize how shallow and short-lived their effects are. Wealth does not consist of having many things, but rather in having few wants. No man is free unless he is his own master. Even if you are the world's master, if you don't see your possessions as your biggest wealth, you are miserable. When your thoughts, words, and actions flow together like a cloth, you make things easier and get rid of fear and worry. Now is the time to stop being lazy. If you want to be a great person or smart, you need to be clear about what kind of person you want to be. The virtue of those who live in a city is what makes it beautiful, not its surroundings. A person can't learn something they think they already know. People shouldn't be afraid of being poor, being sent away, going to jail, or even dying. The thing they should be afraid of is fear itself. Everything has two handles. One makes it easy to handle, and the other makes it impossible. Who is the rich person? When they asked, Epictetus replied, "He who is content." Genius comes out when things get hard. When your thoughts, words, and deeds are in harmony, you can experience happiness. How you react is more important than what happens to you. We have control over life. Nothing else needs to be under our control but ourselves. Don't whine about life. It shows that you're weak. Do not be sad about things you can't control. What bothers us is our perceptions of what happens to us, not what actually occurs. Being indifferent to things outside of our control is a true sign of virtue. You will find what is meant for you. It's easy to get in or out. True happiness comes from being able to enjoy the here and now without being anxious about the future or feeling bad about the past. Accept what you can't change and change what you can't accept are the keys to contentment. The thing that kills you is not the load itself, but how you carry it. Do not expect things to go the way you want them to. Instead, be happy with the way things turn out. The best way to learn is through hardship. A calm mind can see things clearly. Pain is necessary, but suffering is not. Being happy is up to you. What doesn't kill you makes you better. Life is always changing, so you need to learn how to adapt to stay alive. You don't become stronger by winning your battles. Instead, you become stronger by going through tough times and choosing not to give up. That is strength. Don't look for happiness in other people. Love and kindness are the real prize. These are needs, not nice-to-haves. Without them, people would not be able to live. Not always doing what you want is the key to happiness. What you need is to always want what you do. True greatness is found in accepting oneself. While pain is unavoidable, theater is not. The ability to choose how we react to adversity is the essence of freedom. Self-mastery is what gives us real power. Our mind is our worst enemy. You can find true courage inside you, not outside of you. Dealing with the things that make you anxious is the only way to get rid of anxiety. The wise person is happy about what they have instead of what they don't have. Living in harmony with oneself and the environment around us is the true gift of life. Being happy is a state of mind, not a fact of life. Everything else is bad. Only virtue is good. Happiness comes from wanting what you already have, not from getting what you desire. The key to happiness is wanting what you do, not doing what you want. You have to keep going in life, just like you have to keep going when you play bicycle. True peace is found within. Don't look for it outside of yourself. Being truly great doesn't mean never falling, but getting back up every time you do. Real understanding is being aware of how little you know. Real happiness comes from taking time to enjoy nature and meeting your basic wants. Real wisdom means being aware of how little you know. Think about Socrates. Having few needs is what makes someone truly wealthy, not having many things. True love isn't about having something, it's about knowing and respecting each other. Being happy with little is the best way to get rich. Forcing someone to do physical activity doesn't hurt their body, but forcing someone to learn something doesn't really stick in their mind. Everyone has their own idea of what is beautiful. The only person who should have children is someone who is willing to protect their nature and schooling to the end. Character is just a habit that lasts longer. Since an empty vessel makes a bigger sound, people who aren't very smart are the ones who talk the most. Being excellent is a skill that needs to be practiced. We are excellent not because we do things right, but because we do things right that we become excellent. When the styles of music change, the basic rules of the state also change. This means that new musical ideas are very dangerous for the state. You are my star, and I love to look at the stars. I wish I were the sky with a billion eyes so I could look at you. Love is just another word for desire and the search for everything. Like the ground, people can either care for you and help you grow as a person, or they can stop your growth and cause you to wither and die. By doing good things, we improve ourselves and encourage others to do good things too. Nothing goes with the soul to the next place except what it has learned and how it lives. At the start of the trip to the next world, a person's education and society can either help them the most or make their journey the hardest. A hero is born every 100 years, and a sage is found every 1,000 years. A skilled one, on the other hand, might not be found among 100,000 men. I will teach kids science, philosophy, and music. But music is the most important thing I will teach them, because rhythms are the key to learning in all the arts. Poets are meant to say big, smart things that they don't fully understand. The beginning of all wisdom is to know oneself. Being able to think about something without accepting it shows that you have a well-rounded mind. Who is a friend? A single soul living in two bodies. It is not schooling at all to teach the mind, but not the heart. Hope is a dream that comes true. No great mind has ever been completely sane. We are responsible for our own happiness. It's easy for anyone to get mad. Some people find it easy to get angry at the right person at the right time, for the right reason, and in the right way. But not everyone can do that. Excellence is never a coincidence. It always comes from having a good goal, working hard, and doing things in a smart way. It stands for the smart choice of many natives. Your fate is determined by your choices, not by luck. A lot of people want to be friends quickly, but friendship takes time to grow. Finding happiness is what life is all about. The main reason why people live. You can't be friends with everyone. The result of patience is sweet, since the latter only gave them life, while the former taught them the art of living well. Those who teach children well are more deserving of praise than those who make them. What we see is pain. When someone gets over their fears, they are truly free. People who understand should teach others what they know. To teach learned people is like teaching living people how to teach dead people. Someone who likes being alone is either a wild animal or a god. I think you are stronger if you can beat your own wants than if you can beat your enemies, because beating yourself is the hardest thing to do. Poverty leads to revolution and crime. The point of art is not to show how things look, but what they mean on the inside. It's not enough to win a war. Making peace is more important. A friend can help you beat 50 enemies. In his right mind, the man of high standards should care more about the truth than what other people think. When you enjoy your work, you do it better. Like one day doesn't make a person happy, one swallow doesn't make a summer go away. The whole is bigger than the sum of its parts. It's not fun to learn. We can't learn without pain. People are social by nature. Someone who isn't social by nature and not by chance is either not interesting to us or is not human. Society comes before the person. Someone who doesn't join in society because they can't live a common life or are so self-sufficient that they don't need it is either a beast or a god. When there are things we need to learn before we can do them, we do them. There are 7 things that make people do what they do: chance, nature, drive, habit, reason, passion, and desire. When you face your fears and move forward, that's real courage. Being truly great means staying true to yourself and going your own way, even if other people judge or reject you. The ability to choose your own mood in any situation, no matter how challenging, is true freedom. The true measure of greatness is not how much money you have, but how good your character is and how generous your heart is. Being true to your core ideals and making a difference in other people's lives is what life is all about. It takes real wisdom to know the difference between things you can change and things you can't change, and the courage to accept the things you can't change. The only way to find true happiness is to look for peace and contentment inside yourself, not to keep looking for pleasures outside of yourself. Being truly great doesn't mean getting lots of money. It means living a moral life and helping other people. True freedom is the ability to live by your core values and go your own way, even if other people criticize or reject you. True greatness is determined by how you face problems and keep going despite setbacks, not by what you accomplish in life. The ability to live a life with purpose and meaning is what makes someone truly great, not money or power. The ability to live by your own beliefs and go your own way, even if other people criticize or reject you, is what is meant by true freedom. It's not enough to win a war. Making peace is more important. The other goods, having awards, doesn't make us dignified. Knowing that we deserve them does. Nature doesn't do anything pointless. All paid work dulls and drains the mind. People who are wise only speak when they have something to say. People who are foolish only speak when they have something to say. Bad luck shows who isn't really friends. Where your skills meet the wants of the world is where your calling is. Learning is a resource in old age, a shelter in adversity, and an ornament in times of success. The art of excellence is learned through practice and training. We don't have virtue or greatness because we do the right thing. We have those virtues because we do the right thing. Since we are what we do over and over, excellence is not an act, but a habit. Knowing that you know nothing is the only true form of wisdom. Without question, life is not worth living. I can only make someone think. I can't teach them anything. You can only know good things and not know bad things. Surprise is the start of wisdom. Minds that are strong talk about ideas. Minds that are normal talk about events. And minds that are weak talk about people. Consider your own ideas to discover who you are. To start a fire, education is better than filling a jar. The person who is unhappy with their present situation will also be unhappy with what they want. Start slowly when you're trying to make friends, and keep going slowly and steadily once you do. Someone suffers when they don't get what they want, or when they get something they don't want. Even when they get exactly what they want, they still suffer, because they can't keep it forever. Your mind wants to be free from change, pain, and the responsibilities of life and death, but change is the rule, and no one will claim to change it. Walls are sometimes built to see who cares enough to tear them down rather than to keep people out. It is wrong for a man to not be serious about his fitness. It is a shame for a man to get old without discovering the beauty and strength that his body can offer. When one side loses an argument, they use lies to get an advantage. Finding happiness isn't about getting more, but about learning how to enjoy less. Whoever wants to change the world should start by changing themselves. Luxury is manufactured poverty, while contentment is natural wealth. Better yourself by reading the works of other guys, and you'll easily get what other people have worked hard for. Ignorance is the only thing that is bad, and understanding is the only thing that is good. Do not treat other people badly when you are angry, and don't tolerate bad behavior from others either. Every action has a reward and a punishment. Wealth is temporary, but wisdom lasts forever. Pursuing excellence is the only way to live a better life. Forgiving a kid who is scared of the dark is simple. It is a lot worse when guys are scared of light. Watch out for the emptiness of a busy life. Knowing the question is half the answer. The saddest love stories have the coldest endings. There are two tragedies in life: not fulfilling your desire and fulfilling it. Emotional cancer is envy. It's most honorable to be who we say we are. I are smart because I am aware that I do not know anything. For each of us, real wisdom comes when we see how little we know about life, ourselves, and the surroundings. The most ferocious hatred frequently results from the most intense desire. Approach everyone with more kindness than you think is necessary, because everyone is going through something. Tackle the worst horse to get better at saddle making. You can tame them all if you can control one. Watch out for your mental health, friend. Individuals should know themselves well enough to be able to handle taking care of themselves. Defining words is the first step toward wisdom. Some people treat others badly, even if they have treated you badly in the past. Not living is what's important. Living well is. To live well means doing nice things like following your values. Improving yourself is the easiest and most moral thing to do. For what it's worth, it will happen if you just let it. You can never make up for mistakes if you learn from them. After you feel free, don't bother someone again if they run away from you. What you did and said will be forgotten, but how you made them feel will always be remembered. Some things are meant to pass you by, but not stay. More important than how quickly you're going is your direction. To avoid falling in love with the same person twice, remember that the second time you love the memories, not the person. True greatness is judged by how you face difficulties and keep going despite the odds, not by what you accomplish.